Hello and welcome to Wild Magnolia Tarot. My name is Maddie and this is going to be a pick a card reading for any extra messages outside of the weekly readings that Spirit might have for you guys. Real quick, disclaimers. General reading cannot possibly resonate with everyone, so take what does resonate, leave what does not, and if none of it resonates, that's okay too. You can check out your weekly readings from this week, or you can go check out some of the readings from some of the many talented, beautiful readers on this platform who may have something more attuned to your situation or may have messages that are more applicable to your life. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor, lawyer, physician, therapist, counselor, financial expert, etc. Anything that I say resembling advice is based solely on my opinion, my own knowledge, my own experiences, my interpretations of the cards, and any little bits and pieces that may occur to me intuitively throughout the reading. Now, if you're new to pick a cards, I'll just explain how it works real quick. We've got 4 piles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have also marked each pile with a crystal to help anyone who is having trouble deciding. Perhaps you'd be more attracted to a particular stone that I put in front of the pile. So what you do is you sit and you meditate, you focus on which pile calls to you more, which number, which crystal, etc. And then I will put timestamps in the description for when each reading begins, and you just skip forward to whichever pile you chose, listen to the reading, and that's how that works. So real quick, group 1 is pink calcite or rose calcite. It's kind of hard to see with my lighting, I know that, but we also have carnelian for group 2, dream amethyst for group 3, and zebra calcite for group 4. Let's see. There we go. It's hard to see. I know. So take a few seconds, meditate on which one calls to you the most, and then skip forward to that reading. Also, I will be describing the uses for each crystal at the beginning of each reading, in case that might also have extra messages or symbolism for your personal situation. Okay, so I'm just going to let the camera run for about 20 seconds for you to kind of get your feel for what pile you feel drawn to. Alright, group 1, you guys chose the pink calcite. Show you one more time. And I think that a moment ago I called it rose calcite, but upon further research, I do think that that's something else. So, pink calcite. It is a heart chakra stone. It's also associated with the zodiac sign Cancer. It's associated with happiness, compassion, peace, love. It's all about opening the heart chakra and cleansing the heart chakra. According to sources that I will link below, calcite is one of the most common minerals on this earth, and it is associated with the ability to cleanse and purify. So it could be very useful for those who have a blocked heart chakra or have just some kind of emotional turmoil, issues in relationships, issues with making loving connections to other people. Perhaps there is some negativity when it comes to your emotions or your heart center that need to be cleared. Those are options. But we'll see more as we get the cards laid out on the table. So, pink calcite. If any of those meanings sound like they would apply to you, you might do more research on your own. I will cite my source in the description for my brief description of that stone. So, alright, let's lay them out. Alright, so group 1. We've got a lot of cards out here. Try and adjust my microphone there for a second. So let's go ahead and start out with the ones that I have standing up, the ones I've got propped up. So first we have the Starborn. Okay, this card is about getting connected back to your destiny, your divine purpose, whatever it is that you were born to do on this earth. That's what the Starborn is all about. Next we have recognition and reward. So this could be something that you are wanting at this time, that recognition and reward for hard work done. Or it may be something that you are going to be receiving very soon. Let's see what else we've got. Next we have sea creatures, immersion. The next card we have, she feels, she knows. Now we also have the High Priestess on the table, so this is probably going to have a lot to do with connecting to your intuition as well. So up here, I have tarot cards, and then I have lucidity cards, and then I've got some oracle cards down here. And I'm going to read them first in rows and then in columns, and then we'll get to the rest of the cards. I may talk a little fast. I do it on purpose to kind of try to stay connected and tapped into my flow, but also so that I can kind of stop myself from overthinking and overanalyzing. It helps nobody. So let's start out with the tarot cards. First we have the Executive of Wires. This is the this deck's version of the King of Wands. Okay. Next we have the Sun, the High Priestess, and then we have the Two of Vials or Two of Cups in reverse. So right off the bat, I see this describing somebody who is very motivated, has a plan, has a goal, and has the will to pursue it, to work very hard to achieve it. The Sun tells me that there's either, it tells me that you've been successful thus far, or that you're very capable of being successful. The Sun can also be about illumination, illuminating information, bringing things to light. So there could be some realizations that are occurring to you at this time. The High Priestess kind of backs that up by bringing up that connection to the intuition or the unconscious self. This deeper, more profound understanding on that subconscious level. And this ties back to the Starborn, right? There's a lot to do here with remembering your purpose, remembering your path, okay? The Two of Vials in reverse can indicate an imbalance of some kind. This can be an emotional imbalance, or this could be an imbalance in a relationship or some close personal connection that you have with somebody else. Twos can also have to do with the duality within the self, so we'll come back to that. And you may be hearing the garbage truck outside. You may also hear my child running around in the house. She is just out there living her best life, and who am I to tell her to be quiet? That's kind of how I feel about it right now. So anyway, down here we have the Dark Tower. The Dark Tower is all about that deeper, further goal that we set for ourselves that is seemingly unattainable. The Dark Tower, it's always in the distance. It's always on the horizon. It's always something that we might hope to achieve or reach eventually. So it kind of brings to question, how it is that you can take your goals and realize them in the now. Then we have the Crossroads. Pretty straightforward, indicating that this is a time that you may be having a choice to make of some kind, or reaching a crossroads in your own life, where you have to make a decision between one path or another. That's followed up by the Nomad. The Nomad is somebody who is deeply connected to their intuition, deeply connected to spirit, someone who is guided by the divine. This is somebody who is highly adaptable, and it is also somebody who has the ability to just drop everything and move in a new direction whenever the inspiration strikes, or whenever they feel called to move directions. The Nomad is always moving. It can also be seen as the wanderer or the transient. But with the Nomad, there is this theme of being deeply connected to the divine. The last lucidity card we have here is the Lucid City. Now, this is that ideal destination. This is reaching your goal, finding your purpose. It's the end of the path. The Lucid City does exist on a non-physical realm. So I think that this has a lot to do with a path that leads towards higher consciousness, is what I'm getting from this so far. Let's see what else we've got. We'll come back to that. So down here we have the Raven. Let's see if we can get that to focus. The Raven can indicate changes, migrations, cycles. It's another card indicating movement. And as you'll see in a moment, we have a lot of birds and winged creatures in this reading. So there's also this element of freedom, taking flight, lifting up, rising. Okay? Raising your consciousness. Next we have the sign. It's a funeral sign. This one is pretty straightforward. The sign is all about signs being given to you by spirit to guide you. You may be seeing a lot of signs in your life right now. You may be waiting for signs. Next we have the mirror, all about self-reflection, identity, understanding the self. This goes back to the Starborn, reconnecting to that divine purpose, reconnecting to who you are on a deeper level at your core. Next we have the Mort Bell. To me, the Mort Bell is kind of like an alarm or a wake-up call. Bells can also be used to clear energy, or to make announcements. In this case, in this deck, it would be to make the announcement of a death. And I do take that kind of to heart, where this death for you is a very profound change that is occurring in your life at this time regarding the path that you're taking. I think that if you resonated with this pile, then you are going to find that you are going to be switching paths towards something that is more aligned with your true self, or with your divine purpose, however you want to look at it. Now, coming back over here, we have the Manatee, which is about compassion. And then we have partnership, the Kookaburra, which kind of lines up with the Two of Cups in reverse over here, that there may be an element here in your situation of a relationship that is out of balance, or an emotional imbalance that leads to an imbalance in a relationship. We also have the Roadrunner, which is about productivity. I know with my lighting it's kind of hard to see. I do apologize for that. I'm still trying to work out a good system, a good setup, and I'll let you know when I figure that out. So over here, we have the Spade. The Spade is a tool to help you plant the seeds of the future that you want to manifest, and also to reap the rewards. Coming back to that idea of rewards, results. Then we have the Pollinator, a very important element of any ecosystem. This is the energy that allows you to achieve your goals. This is, to me, indicative of some unseen force in your situation that is helping to guide you, that is laying things out in your life, setting you up for success. Okay, I think this is related to the signs here that are coming out to point you in the right direction. Next we have the Epiphany. And this is very relative to that Sun card, where something is being brought to light, some deep, profound realization occurring to you now or soon, to help you realign with that deeper purpose, right? To help you realign with what it is that you're meant to do, what it is that you're meant to achieve, that you have been meant to do since you were born. That sentence didn't come out right, I understand. Okay, and then we have Patience. This is a reminder that such a deep and profound change in your life, this is going to be a longer process. This is going to take time. This is something that forms slowly over years into something beautiful and meaningful. And so if there is, going back to that recognition and reward card, perhaps there is, to a degree, a hope or expectation for quick results. The hope that you will do the work and then you will immediately see the reward. But that's not always how this works out. This is a longer, deeper journey for you. This is outlining a situation that for some could take lifetimes, entire lifetimes. I don't think that's going to be the case for you. I mean, it might be. This may be something that you've been pursuing through multiple lifetimes, but I do believe that you are going to find the end location. You're going to reach this lucid city in this lifetime. And I think that right now, you're coming to this crossroads where you are finally getting on the right path towards that destination. And that's going to be through this epiphany, this realization that you come to, that you're going to come to through your intuition. It's going to be some kind of knowledge or information that you already hold within yourself that has been buried under years of mundane details and earthly things and distractions, things of that nature. Going back to the immersion card for a second, these sea creatures. Okay, to me this is immersing yourself in the subconscious, in these unconscious factors that the high priestess is referring to. This is also immersing yourself perhaps in spirituality. Going back to the manatee, we have the compassion, and then with the kookaburra, we have partnerships, and then we have productivity, and those connect to the two vials in reverse. I think that for some of you guys, you may be in a relationship, or a relationship may come into your life at some point. Somehow that connection is going to be directly related to the process of reaching this higher awareness, this level of higher consciousness that you are pursuing, that you want so badly. This could be somebody who can be very helpful on that path. The spade card over here can also be a reference to a helpful ally of some kind. So this could be in the form of a person in your life. This could be somebody that spirit brings into your life to teach you a very important lesson. Hopefully, it'll be a reciprocal relationship where you will help them and they will help you. And you may have the same destination in mind, which is the ideal situation. But only you will be able to figure out the answer to that. Everybody is on, even when we're all on similar paths, our journeys play out much differently. So this connection, if there is a relationship coming into your life, it may not be forever. But it is, I think the word is predestined. I think that it is something that is meant to occur, or it's a fated connection, perhaps, that helps to guide you on your path closer, at least closer to your destination. Now, another card we have down here is the she-wolf. Okay, the she-wolf protects, she fights, she leads. This is you. Oops. This is you taking that position of leadership in your life. This is you taking charge towards this higher understanding, this higher consciousness. We have the King of Wands up there at the tippy top, which shows me, again, that you are very motivated, that you are very capable, that you have that direct connection to that which inspires you, to that internal flame within yourself. But I think that the realization that you're coming to, I think what the Sun card there is talking about, is that you're going to realize that some of your motivations may have not been aligned with that purpose, with your spiritual journey. You may also find that my phone is ringing. I apologize. You may also find that what you thought you wanted for a long time wasn't right for you. Perhaps the reason why the recognition and reward card has come out is because you've put a lot of work into something and you have not received the recognition and reward that you thought you would. Or perhaps you did, and it was not fulfilling. It was not satisfying. If that's the case, I think that it's just a symptom of being on the wrong path. Or maybe not the wrong path, but it's not the path that you were meant to take. It is not the path that holds the most meaning for you. I see, looking at these cards, somebody who is looking for more meaning in their lives, who's looking to find their divine purpose in the sense that they're trying to find the way that they are connected to the rest of the universe, and how they can best use their talents, their abilities, to be productive on a spiritual level. Hopefully that makes sense. Bringing back in that connection to another human being. I almost see like two nomads crossing paths for a minute. Just one hot minute, where this situation unfolds that teaches each individual about themselves in a way that brings them closer to this lucid city, this final ideal destination. Between she feels she knows, the high priestess and the nomad, I really do get the sense that this is a time of getting in touch with the higher self, the subconscious, the knowledgeable and understanding voice within that has the answers you're looking for. That's another thing about the nomad. Sometimes the nomad is looking outside of themselves for answers, constantly traveling and seeking, looking, searching for something that they may never find because the one place they never looked was within. And so that's what that connection can bring to the table, is that in coming together with somebody else, perhaps both of you learn how to look within. Perhaps that recognition and reward is something that you are meant to provide for yourself. Perhaps self-recognition is the reward, okay? And that could be what this epiphany is over here. So now I want to go ahead and take one more look at the cards that we have in the center from the top down in columns. The King of Wands, the Dark Tower, and the Raven. So this centers around this Dark Tower, that motivation, that very distant goal that you've set for yourself. The Raven indicates that that is what's changing. That's what's evolving, is this goal that you have for yourself. So whatever it is that you have been attempting to accomplish, that's what's going to change for you. And then going from the sun and the crossroads and the sign, this tells me that when you reach that crossroads, when it comes time to make that change, you are going to know exactly which way to go. You're going to see the signs. The information that's necessary for you to make a decision is going to be revealed to you. And it's not going to be difficult. It may be difficult to let go of some things from the past. It may be difficult to let go of old goals that you have committed yourself to. But you will see the signs. You will have the inner knowing of which way you need to go, what decision you need to make. And in that sense, it's going to be simple. Maybe not easy, but simple. Coming over here to the High Priestess and the Nomad and the Mirror. All surrounding this Nomad card here, which falls in the middle. Let me start that sentence over again. You are going to find what you're looking for by looking within, by looking at yourself, by reflecting. You're not going to find it anywhere else. This could also imply almost like a shamanic journey, if you will, astral journeying, exploration through dream time, because there's still this sense of searching and traveling and looking, but through the unconscious, the intuition. I mean, this could be representative of like doing a soul retrieval or past life regression, deep meditation, astral travel, or lucid dreaming. So you might look into that. But I do think that that's where you're going to find most of the answers you're looking for, as opposed to looking outside of yourself. Examples of looking outside of yourself would be going to healers or psychics, looking on the internet, traveling to different sacred parts of the world, looking for answers, looking for insight, knowledge, and enlightenment. While those things are good and do broaden your scope of understanding about the world we live in, very important, what you're seeking specifically is going to be found by going within. Some of you guys may be psychic or have extra special abilities, and this could symbolize you fine-tuning those abilities at this time as well. So coming down here to the end, the Two of Cups, the Lucid City, and the Mort Bell, which I'm going to show you so that I can get my camera to refocus. Okay, sorry about that. You might notice a weird cut there. I had to walk away for a second. So, Two of Cups in reverse, Lucid City, and Mort Bell. There is going to be some sort of awakening, some sort of alarm bell, something that occurs to get your attention, to draw your attention into the right direction towards this lucid city, okay? Towards this divine destination that you are seeking at this time. And I do think it's something that's going to happen either in relation to another person, or it's going to be somebody else that makes this point to you, that brings this to your attention. I think that's directly tied to this epiphany here. That there will be another person in your life that is, who contributes to this understanding, this realization. Whether it's something about you that they point out, or perhaps it's something about them that you notice and that you connect with, that teaches you something about yourself. Because we have this pollinator card here. And one of the meanings of this card is like having to do with the spreading and dispersing of information or energy. But I think in this case it's information or insight. So this helpful ally, spreading information to you, to others, leading to an epiphany, a recognition that perhaps, even though you have not seen any reward yet for the hard work that you've put in, that just having a little more patience is the key to finding what you're looking for. The understanding that perhaps you haven't been noticing the little achievements that you've made up until this point, because you do have that greater goal in the forefront of your mind, that dark tower, that you don't really see anything else between you and that goal. But there's actually a lot that you have achieved. And this major transition that you're about to experience is going to be one of those achievements. So I'm just looking over the cards now to see if there's anything else that I can see here. I'm actually going to pull a few cards from another deck. 2 more decks, actually. This is the Roots and Wings Oracle. And I'm going to draw 4. So I'm going to put them in the center here, and I'm going to read them as part of the column. Hopefully that makes sense. So to describe the King of Wands with the Dark Tower and the Raven, we have good fortune. This is a turn up. Things are going to start getting a lot better for you if they've been difficult up until this point. You're going to see a lot of things coming together for you, perhaps things that you've been working towards. Perhaps this is an indicator that you are going to start seeing some of the rewards from your hard work, that you're going to start seeing the changes within yourself that are going to lead to attaining more good fortune. This could also translate to material abundance as well. So just over here dropping cards. With the Sun and the Crossroads and the Sign, we have hope. So perhaps one of the things or something that has been occurring for you is that you've been losing hope. Perhaps you felt lost, right? The signs that you are seeing from Spirit, the information that is illuminated to you by that Sun card, and the changes made at these crossroads are going to allow you to have hope. They're going to give you hope for the future. They're going to bring you closer to that internal flame, to that inspiration, to that calling, that feeling that is almost indescribable, that you feel deep within yourself, that pushes you forward. I call it wonder. You know, it's like that childlike wonder that may be reignited after making these changes. Once you take the correct turn at the crossroads, then that feeling will come back to you, or it'll be even stronger, and you'll feel more pulled in a certain direction, or you'll start to notice the spiritual guidance from the universe even more than you did before. Let's see. So now I'm going to pull a card for the High Priestess, the Nomad, and the Mirror. And then after this, I'll pull cards from a different deck for a final overall message that will hopefully tie everything together a little more smoothly than what I've put out so far. Okay, High Priestess, Nomad, and Mirror. We have Crafty. This kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about psychic abilities, or any type of ability that you may have that you have not fully realized. You may come to recognize your own abilities, your sixth sense, what it is that you have to offer, or whatever it is that you are good at, whatever talent or gift that you have within yourself. Recognizing these talents, recognizing these gifts can help give you more direction, right? It can help you set new, smaller goals for yourself that can eventually get you to that end destination. Alrighty, so now one more out of this deck for the Two of Cups in reverse, the Lucid City, and the Mort Bell. And we have Inner Vision. So for those of you who do not resonate with what I said earlier about there being some kind of relationship or human connection involved in this scenario, then that Two of Cups in reverse is going to have to do with an internal imbalance within yourself. Some kind of internal emotional conflict. And this could also be the conflict between your logical mind and your intuition or your heart. So overall, what I've got here so far is that really the focus for you guys is going to be on tuning your intuition, tuning into your intuition rather, and paying attention to the signs that Spirit is showing you, sending you at this time. And then taking charge based on what you feel, and making decisions based on what you feel to be right for you. Okay, as if we didn't have enough, we're going to pull a few more cards for our final messages here. So first we have the Rabbit, Fertility. And then we have the Rabbit's Foot, Luck. It's a lot of rabbits here. Let's see. Okay, and so then we have Womb. I said that with a B on the end. That's a little weird. Womb. Fertility, Luck, Womb. One more. There's the garbage truck. Hey, you know, somebody's got to do it. Okay, we had two more come out. So then we have Closure, the Door, Closure. And then the Book of Spells, Creation. Creation. This is what the Rabbit and the Cauldron are about. Fertility and womb. That is not the cards telling you that you're pregnant. I mean, you could be, but that's not how I'm reading this. This closure, I think, has to do with this Two of Cups in reverse. For sure. There's something that needs to be let go of, something that needs to be released. And I think once you start living and feeling in alignment with that calling and with your intuition, that this closure is going to happen naturally for you. Okay, whatever it is that you need to let go of is going to be a lot easier for you. I think that's also tied back in with the crossroads. The closure will naturally come as you take that turn at the crossroads. So then we have luck, womb, fertility, creation. There's something for you to manifest, something for you to create at this time that is starting to come together for you, whether that be that you are receiving the inspiration at this time, or perhaps you already felt inspired, but now the pieces are coming together. Now you're finding the tools, you're recognizing the talents and abilities that you have to make it happen. And luck is on your side, spirit is on your side, helping you to create and manifest whatever it is. So be hopeful, take charge, be optimistic, and go for it. Because it's all happening for you because it is aligned with your greater purpose. And that recognition and reward is going to come to you. That is something that you have to look forward to. Okay, so that's what I've got from these cards. Group 1. Hopefully this resonated, was helpful for somebody. If it was, if you enjoyed this, please feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified when I upload new videos in the future. If you have any ideas for pick-a-cards or themed readings that you would like to see me do on my channel, please leave it in the comments. I would love to see your suggestions and implement them in the future. So you guys take care, and I will see you in the next one. All right, Group 2. You guys chose the Carnelian stone. According to a source I found on the internet that will be linked in the description, Carnelian brings an influx of life force, sexual and creative energies. It's also helpful when one needs to take major action, lends courage to move forward and dedicate oneself to a new path, and protects against envy and fear. That's from dreaminggoddess.com. Not my words, it's somebody else's words. Just want to put that out there. I have a hard time memorizing all the crystals and what they're used for, so I'm reading from the internet when I tell you that. But anyway, those themes, okay, generally I think that Carnelian brings courage and kind of like energetic empowerment. I know that being red, it also connects to the root chakra, which can have a lot to do with security, strength, anything that the root chakra might be related to. So perhaps there is a need for you to do some clearing or some work on the root chakra. Perhaps there's something going on with the root right now, or perhaps there's something in your life going on right now that is calling for you to be courageous, to be strong, and to take decisive action to make something happen. So that is what the Carnelian is about. Let's lay out the cards. Alrighty, Group 2. So I'm going to start out by reading in rows, and then I'll read in columns, and we'll get through everything we have on the table. If I seem like I'm reading kind of fast, it might be just because that's kind of how I stay connected or tapped in to my own flow without overthinking or overanalyzing. That's when I run into trouble. So hopefully I don't move too fast. Hopefully you can keep up. I'll try to explain everything as clearly as possible. So we're starting out with the kiss. It's that special moment, right? That moment of connection with another human being. Usually it is romantic. So this may have to do with a relationship that you are in, or a relationship that may be coming into form for you guys. We also have harmony, another relationship card. Being in harmony with somebody else, being in a relationship that is harmonious. We have the birds. Freedom is the meaning of that card. Okay, now we also have another 6 card, actually. Shock of the New. So the number 6 has to do with harmony and balance. So this is a very strong theme in your reading so far. So the shock of the new could indicate that this is a new relationship that is coming into your life at this time. We also have the hummingbird. Okay, joy. This card is about joy. And then we have the aardvark. And this is about resourcefulness. And then the gazelle, momentum. So this could be a relationship that moves kind of fast. Something that is very passionate and quick moving is what I'm getting from that so far. And the shock of the new could be that you're kind of unsure about this relationship because it is starting out so quickly, so passionately, because it's moving faster than what you're comfortable with. So let's see what else we've got, and we'll come back to that. So in the tarot, we have the Five of Wires, which is the equivalent of the Five of Wands, which can indicate conflict. It can also indicate a challenge of some kind or competition. This could also be conflicting interests as well. It can be internal conflict. It could be also a conflict within this new relationship. Next, we have the Nine of Arms, which is the Nine of Swords. This is about anxiety. This is the stuff that keeps you up at night. This could be something that is freaking you out, which kind of goes along with that shock of the new card. Next, we have the Executive of Arms, which is the King of Swords, and the King of Swords operates on truth and logic. And then we have the Executive of Vials, which is the King of Cups in this deck. The King of Cups is very in tune with his emotions, with his intuition. He's also very balanced, compassionate. So between the Five of Wires and Nine of Arms, and then you have two kings to the right of two seemingly kind of negative cards. I think that this is telling you to use not only your logic, but also follow your heart to rise above these challenges, to rise above these issues. The Nine of Arms coming after the Five of Wires tells me that whatever this conflict is arising out of some sense of insecurity, either on your part or on the other person's part. I do kind of think it might be on your part. Something that you're very anxious about, but perhaps something that you should not necessarily be anxious about. Like, you're anxious, but there's nothing really to worry about. As long as you are using your brain, acting logically, and following your heart, your intuition, trusting in your own ability to know what is right for you. So the next row, we have the Grove. This is where the magic happens. This is a place of creation and growth and manifestation. And then we have the University. This is all about learning. This is like the school of life. This does tie into that King of Swords energy as well. Okay, logic, understanding, learning. Next we have the Way. This has a lot to do with your path. Aligning yourself with your path, figuring out what your path is, finding a new way to live, to think, to experience your life as fully as possible. Next we have the Nest, and the Nest is all about security and safety. The Nest is home. The Nest is nourishing, comforting. So it is quite appropriate that that would come out underneath the King of Cups there. Now down here we have the Whip, which can be seen as aggressive or harsh. But to me, the Whip here, it's something that gets your attention. It's something that snaps you out of a certain state. Next we have the Cup. The cup is the vessel. The cup is something to be filled. Because of the cards that we have on the table, this is coming out underneath University. So it's almost like filling yourself with knowledge and understanding, getting an education, learning an important lesson. And I think that learning that lesson is what's going to help you rid yourself of this anxious Nine of Swords energy. Now we have the Scythe, indicating a swift ending of some kind. It can also indicate a harvest or the end of a cycle. It is something that happens very quickly, though, and that brings us back over here to the Gazelle with the momentum. Like, this is something that is developing really fast. And then we have the glove, indicating that this is something to take care with, or to handle carefully. The glove protects from the elements. You could see it as a cleaning glove, where it protects you from harsh elements or harsh chemicals. It's something that you wear to protect yourself, but also to make sure that you're not contaminating anything that you're dealing with. So there's this need for you to not, I don't know, it's almost like taking care when dealing with the nest here, because if we read these in columns, now that we've read them in rows, we've got the Five of Wands with the Grove and the Whip. So we've got this conflict, this challenge here. And then we have this place where growth and development can occur. This place where things can, where seeds can be planted and we can see how they develop. And then we have the Whip, which is like whipping you into shape. It's kind of what I get. I think that whatever this conflict here is, I'm going to use it to focus the camera again. Whatever this conflict is, it's something that is happening for you to get you in the right mind space to create something for yourself, to get out of some kind of cycle or stuck spot that you may be in. That conflict is the whip that gets you moving again. So then we read this column, the Nine of Arms, the University, and the Cup, which I already kind of touched on this already, just that it's knowledge and information that you are learning in this process or at this time, perhaps through this relationship, that helps to, one, rid you of that anxiety, but two, give you more meaning, allowing you to have a more fulfilling experience of life and of this potentially new relationship. The King of Swords and the Way and the Scythe. I feel like there is some kind of truth, some kind of understanding that you are going to reach that is going to allow you to change the way you live, to change the way you see the world. It may help you to find a new way of being. And this is going to result in a swift ending of how you lived and thought before. So there's this deep internal change, a deep change of perspective specifically that will occur through this relationship. I think it's going to teach you a lot about yourself and a lot about how you see the world that perhaps you were never quite conscious of to begin with. So now we have the King of Cups, the Nest, and the Glove. So this could indicate a need to protect that safe space, to protect the home. That could be where some of this anxiety about a new relationship comes in. It's because you have this delicate balance within the home, within the nest, that makes you feel safe and secure, that allows you to feel comfortable and, what's the word I'm looking for? Nourished is the word that keeps coming to mind, but that's not nurture. To maintain a nurturing home environment, there's this great care to protect that. We have this element of kindness, compassion, love, balanced emotions. There is this need to make sure that that home life is not disrupted, by this new relationship. And you might experience a little bit of disruption or just a change in the way that your home dynamic, your nest dynamic is when this new relationship comes in, because we come back here to the shock of the new. Okay, so it's all about, I think, realizing for you that there is nothing to be afraid of when it comes to this new connection, and that change isn't always a bad thing. And I also think that there's a lesson here about the nest actually being a place that exists within the self, that exists within emotional stability and awareness, self-awareness specifically. And I think that This is also Spirit telling you that it is okay to protect yourself. It is okay to, you know, curate your emotional environment to be something that is nurturing and safe for yourself. So let's move over here for a second. We have the Scarecrow, okay? And this has a lot to do with past trauma, pain from the past that perhaps you have not yet dealt with. We also have Entwined. So this has to do with some situation that entwines you with another person, specifically. This could be pain from a past relationship that is leading you to be wary of this new relationship, of this new connection here. That could be why there's this shock factor, okay? And that could be also why there's this fear that is ignited by the fast development, right? It's because you have this pain from a past relationship. Something happened that left you scarred, left you less trusting of others, okay? So this is also going to be a process of being able to open your heart again and feel safe in a connection with another person. Next, we have the Multiverse, which is all about options, okay? Possibilities is probably a better word for it. All of the different ways that we can go in our life, all of the different possibilities for the way that our lives can play out. This has a lot to do with analyzing our decisions and how they affect our lives. Perhaps how different decisions could lead to different futures. This, to me, could also be about, you know, this idea that when you come together with another person, that there's two universes, two realities that are coming together to form a singular unit. We also have structure here, which to me ties in with the King of Cups, the Nest, these two cards here, trying to maintain a semblance of structure within your life. You don't want this new relationship or this new connection to throw everything out of whack, to turn upside down everything that you've worked for, and you also don't want it to take away from, you know, your freedom, okay? Your independence. I think your independence is something that you value dearly. I think it is something that you learned from this previous relationship that caused you pain. You learned how to not rely on others for emotional fulfillment. You learned how to be with yourself, how to be comfortable being alone. Now you have to be comfortable with sharing your life with somebody else again, but you do not have to upend the structure that you created for yourself after the last relationship. And if this is a good, strong connection, if this is a healthy relationship that is meant to be, then it will not destroy the structure that you have created. It will only enforce it. The next card we have is Lover's Way. And this is just about approaching this relationship with love and compassion. Okay, this is about finding happiness. This is about two people coming together as independent units to be happy together, to learn from each other, to find their way together, but also still independently. So if it's just the speed at which this relationship is developing that frightens you, that's not something I'd be so worried about, basically. As long as this is a relationship that still allows you to feel emotionally safe and protected, as long as it does not interrupt the nest, right? This loving, nurturing structure that you have put in place for yourself. I can see anxiety about letting someone new in, though, and that's just something that takes time. And I think that's why the glove is here, right? That you're taking care when you allow this new connection into your safe space. That is fair. Take it slow if you need to take it slow. I think that if it's a connection worth maintaining, that it will last even if you slow things down. Okay, but it does look like there is potential for something wonderful to be created here between the two of you. And again, a lot to be learned from each other. As long as it's not petty insecurities getting in the way or fear. You don't want to make any decisions or you cut off any possibilities out of fear. I'd say give it a try. Get to know this other person. Try to be comfortable in this connection. Because it could very well be worth it. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a few cards from the Roots and Wings deck to give us any extra insight that might be helpful at this time. Starting out, I'm going to do it with each column. So the first card that came out, and this is to help clarify the Five of Wands with the Grove and the Whip. We have wildness. So, an element of instinct here. I'm actually going to double clarify that. It's a very interesting, let's see. The Magician. So there's this element here, one of connecting to your instinct, but also with the Magician, you know, creating something new, like I said earlier, which is exactly what the Grove exists for, as this space where anything can be manifested or created. Obviously, the key ingredient will be positive intention. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a card to clarify the Nine of Arms with the University and the Cup. Pull a card that connects those three together. We have potential. It's this seed sprouting, rooting, discovering your own potential, and discovering the potential of this connection, this relationship. Because to me, this is more than just a romance. This is a lot more than romance. This seems to be divinely guided. A divinely guided connection that exists for a very important purpose. Okay, to bring you into alignment with your divine purpose. It seems like you and this other individual both play very important roles in the other's personal development. So let's clarify the way, the Executive of Arms, the Way, and the Scythe. We have manifestation. There's a lot of creation and manifestation energy in this reading. Okay, so there is something that will end or something that will be cut away to allow for new growth, to allow for something to be manifested. Now I'm going to clarify the Executive of Files, King of Cups with the Nest and the Glove. Alright, I had 3 cards come out and I've decided I'm just going to keep all of them. So first we have Wisdom. So I'll put that down here. Wisdom, Union, and Vulnerability. Wisdom, Union, and Vulnerability. This seems like a very strong connection. And this wisdom here ties in with the University. But also because it came out on top of the Nest, I think that there's something about opening your heart to this new union, to this new connection, that not only brings you wisdom, but almost makes the Nest even safer, an even more nurturing environment for both of you. Perhaps the Nest is what you're building together. So now I'm going to pull a few more cards from a different deck just to wrap it up. Just to tie everything together, or to give one last important message to you guys, in case I did not hit the most important parts. Because I put a lot of cards out, so. While I shuffle, though, I will just say that, to recap what I've got so far, This is a new relationship or a new connection of some kind. It is very powerful, it is very passionate, and it seems to be moving very quickly. But it's also, in my opinion, based on what I see here, divinely guided. It is part of your life plan, okay? To, one, teach you something very important. Well, to teach both of you guys something important. Also, because there's something that you guys together can create that you could not create by yourselves. And I think that part of that creation may be this structure here. There's some kind of structure that you guys can build together that is this protective and enriching structure. I think there's also some negativity from the past that you can both help each other to cast away, to cut off, to heal from, and release. I also think that this is somebody that where your paths are entwined on a spiritual level. Perhaps you've spent other lifetimes together or have connections to each other in past lifetimes as well. That's a possibility. So let's see what else we've got here. So we have summer, play, have fun. Very nice. What else do we have? Interesting. Black rose, mourning. I think this goes back to that, the negativity from the past that has to be released and let go of. I think that also ties into this vulnerability card as well, that there's something that has to be mourned from the past, something negative from the past that happened that causes you to not be comfortable in your own vulnerability. Being able to process that at this time and finally let it go so you're not carrying it around everywhere you go. I think that's something that this relationship will help you with. Okay, we have Dracula, manipulation. I want to know what that's about. Goat, masculinity. And then we have the feather, sacred connection. So, because manipulation came out after the black rose, this mourning, okay, I think this connects to the scarecrow in terms of, you know, that negative event or situation that occurred in the past. I think that perhaps that previous relationship was manipulative and did take from you your sense of personal power. And that is potentially what this new relationship could help enforce. Not the manipulation, but your own personal empowerment. And that's something to look for. Okay? Because this could go either way. So far from what I've seen before I put these cards out, I see a sacred connection. I see something that is coming into place to empower both of you. But manipulation did come out in the middle of these cards here. So do be careful of that. It is possible that for some of you guys, this relationship that's growing might be toxic. It might be negative. Only you can know that by listening to your intuition, paying attention to the details, using your brain and using your heart. Employ both of your different ways of reasoning, emotional and mental, to decide whether or not this is good for you, whether or not this is a positive connection. I think that it is. I think that the manipulation card is related to the mourning card and ties into that relationship from the past, that which scarred you and made you very protective of your heart, of yourself. I think the masculinity card comes out to remind you to stand in your own power, to take action, to defend yourself, to continue to be strong and independent. If this is a positive, healthy connection, it will not take your freedom from you. It will not take your independence away. There will not be unhealthy reliance. It will be a balanced coming together of two independent individuals who are okay by themselves, but also really good together. Let me pull one more. I'm just going to pull one more, and then we'll call it good. All right, we've got the rosary, prayer and meditation. So if you have any uncertainty whatsoever, prayer and meditation is going to be the answer for you. It's going to be key. I think that meditation is obviously good for everybody. Making sure that you are connected to your intuition and listening to it. Keeping an open mind and keeping an open heart. And having faith that the universe is showing you the right way to go. Okay, so that's what I've got for you guys. Group 2. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody. If this resonated, if you enjoyed it, please feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that I can, so that you can get notified when I upload new videos in the future. If you have any ideas for themed readings or other pick-a-cards that you'd like to see me do in the future, please leave it in a comment below. I would love to see your suggestions and implement them in future videos. And until next time, you guys take care, be good, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Alrighty, group 3. You guys chose the Chevron Amethyst right here. According to healingcrystals.com, Chevron Amethyst is a third eye stone. It enhances your intuition and your psychic vision, basically all of your psychic abilities. It's good for stress and it's very calming. And it can also help to repel negativity of all kinds and remove resistance to change. I also know that it can be used for better sleep, dream recall, more vivid dreams as well. So perhaps one of these qualities of that stone may apply to you or your situation at this time. But let's go ahead and lay out the cards. Alright, group 3, here are your cards. I'm going to go through all of them and I'm going to connect them together. These cards in the middle here, I will read first in rows and then in columns. Okay, starting out with an archetype card though, we have Thanatos, which is about death. Okay, so this could be a death of ego. This could just represent a major change in your life at this time. This is a heavy theme in all of my readings so far. So this is a time of great change for a lot of people. Next we have Passion Ignited, okay, tapping back into that inner flame, that source of motivation and drive. This can also have to do with connecting to your calling. Next we have the Dreamweaver, accessibility. To me, this is the accessibility of, it's your ability to access dreamtime or the astral realms, a more spiritual level of thinking and being. This can also be accessing your higher self, your higher consciousness. Next we have Follow Your Own Rhythm. Ooh, that light. Okay. So this is pretty straightforward. Okay, this is about living your own life, following your own calling, moving at your own pace, in your own flow, as opposed to following somebody else's rhythm or living for other people, as opposed to allowing others to control what you do or what your goals are. This is about you stepping into your own sense of self, answering your own calling, and moving forward on this path of personal growth, personal evolution. So next we'll go through these cards, the Macaw. And the Macaw is about identity. Okay, so part of this for you guys may be finding yourself in general. We also have the Hawk, messages. All right, this is messages from spirit, probably delivered to you through signs and synchronicities, so pay attention to those, okay? And then we have the Shrew, which is all about excess, and we'll come back to that because we have some other cards indicating that as well. So now we have up here the Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles, and then the Devil. Next we have the Wild Monkey, the Overseer, the Vivacious Jaguar, and the Sanctuary. And then we have the Cat, the Horseshoe, the Door, and the Scale. So going back to the tarot cards at the top for a minute, the Three of Pentacles in reverse alongside the Wheel of Fortune in reverse can indicate to me that there's a sense of powerlessness, or this feeling that you're not in control of your own life, you're not in control of your own destiny. That there's some other factor in your life, or a person, a relationship, that is controlling every move you make, or that there's some kind of influence in your life that you feel you cannot escape. This could have to do with something on a material level. It could have to do with other individuals in the workplace, perhaps somebody that you are working with to create something or manifest something independently, where there's this tension or this imbalance in some kind of relationship with somebody else that gets in the way of that creation. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse can represent, kind of feeling unlucky, feeling like nothing is working out for you, feeling like no matter what you do or how hard you try, you cannot turn your life around. And usually this is because there's something that needs to be cut out or let go from your life. With the Ten of Pentacles, there's obviously this opportunity for success and abundance. There's definitely the possibility of attaining this, and perhaps you already have, but then that's followed up by the Devil. And the Devil is any kind of behavior or coping mechanism or idea, thought process that we hold within ourselves that binds us, that holds us back from accomplishing more, from achieving. Because we have the Shrew here, we have excess, and then we have the Devil. This could be an addiction. This could also be a tendency to use resources in excess or to take things too far in your own life, which could be why you have that that Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Because there could be a habit that you have that you feel has taken over your life, that you feel it controls your actions, that has taken over your motivation. And in order to feed that habit, in order to continue to act out that habit, it is taking away from the rest of your life. It seems to be something that potentially could be taking away from you on a financial or an earthly level, because we do have two Pentacles cards there. That perhaps you have a hard time saving money, perhaps you overspend, perhaps you are spending money on things that you do not need. Again, if this is an addiction issue, there could be money spent on alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, etc. that you don't have. Or perhaps you just have a goal of being able to save more money, to be able to save resources. And this is very difficult for you when you continue to use them in excess. We'll come back to that. Moving down, we have the Wild Monkey right here. And the Wild Monkey is all about play, having fun. It's also representative of that childlike curiosity and wonder for the mysteries of life. So there's this sense, I kind of relate that to that Passion Ignited, where the wild monkey is very passionate about enjoying life. So perhaps this has a little bit of influence when it comes to that idea of using things in excess, because you want to have fun, you want to enjoy what you have when you have it, but it's like you may not know when to stop or when to say no. The Wild Monkey is followed by the Overseer here, and this card brings the message that you have to keep in mind that when it comes to something like the Akashic Records, your actions, your thoughts, everything that you do, all of your decisions are recorded somewhere in the universe. Even if there is no other human standing around and watching you every moment of every day, even though you may feel alone, your actions are still being recorded. Your deeds are still being measured by some power in the universe. And so you always want to be your best self. You always want to be on your best behavior. And you just want to make decisions based on what you know to be right and true for yourself and for the rest of the world as well. So watching your own behavior, watching your actions, making more mindful choices in regards to your lifestyle, but also in regards to how you may treat or affect other people. The Vivacious Jaguar. This has a lot to do with the Divine Feminine. It's also very similar to that Passion Ignited card as well. It's this passion to move forward on a higher path. It's also has themes of, again, femininity, base instinct. There's a deeper connection to spirit here, because that is the source of that inner flame. It is that direct wire in to spirit. So the vivacious jaguar, while it can be a very sensual character, it's also a very motivated and determined character. Determined to follow that path, to rise above obstacles or lower modes of thinking in order to achieve that higher consciousness. We're following that with the sanctuary right here, and the sanctuary is all about a safe space. It's somewhere that you go when you are under a lot of stress, when you are overwhelmed, overstimulated. It is something perhaps that you create for yourself, or that you need to create for yourself. It can be shared with other people. It is a safe place. That is the major theme of the sanctuary, having somewhere to go, or creating a place that is safe for yourself and others when things become really difficult, when you need to be protected from outside influences. Coming down to these cards here, we have the cat, the horseshoe, the door, and the scale. The cat is all about independence. Independence and success, but also curiosity. The cat is curious, and that is an element of the wild monkey as well, this curiosity for life. Wanting to know how things work, wanting to know what all is out there. It's this deep sense of intrigue about the workings of the universe that drive you to continue to explore all facets of life and everything that the universe has to offer. The horseshoe is about luck and protection from evil or negative influences. So that could be something that you need at this time. I think it's a message too that spirit is protecting you from negative outside influences, as long as you are willing to face those influences and say no and cut them off yourself. Anything can come into your life if you allow it, but it has to be invited in. The horseshoe is telling you that if you choose not to invite negativity into your life, you are protected. It cannot cross that line. The door is all about opportunity. You come to a door, you choose whether you open it or not. Perhaps there's somebody knocking on that door. Perhaps it is a door at the end of a long hallway. Perhaps you have many doors available for you to choose to walk through. And that's followed up by the scale, which is all about balancing the mind, balancing your thoughts, organizing yourself on a mental level. But I think this is also about bringing balance and fairness into your life, into your actions. So there may be something in your life that is out of balance, and I think that that is probably the case, because coming back to the shrew and the devil, there is this sense of something being used or something being done in excess to the extent that it is harmful to you, at the very least on a material level, leaving you in kind of a stuck position where you may feel lost, or you may feel like you cannot move forward because you're sucked into a habit, you're sucked into something that you're having a hard time releasing. Coming over here, we have the sun and the celestial realms. The sun is the central point of our solar system. It is the celestial body that nourishes life on our planet, and perhaps other planets in our solar system as well. The sun can be representative of you as the center of your universe. There is the flip side, the dangerous side to that, where it can be somewhat self-centric. But I think that in this case, the sun is representing this journey towards finding yourself, that journey towards the center of you, towards your core, trying to figure out who you are, what you want, what's best for you, and how you can bring that balance and harmony into your life and through your actions. The celestial realms is about higher wisdom or higher knowledge coming to you from spirit to guide you. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We also have water and responsibility. Water can have a lot to do with emotions. It is the flow that you get into in your life. It is the current through which you are floating at this time. This can have a lot to do with emotional control. There's a potential here that there is some kind of emotional pain or turmoil that is lending itself to your tendency towards excess. That perhaps whatever it is that you are doing that harms you, whatever that devil card is referring to, may be a mask or a band-aid that you use to put over an emotional issue that you haven't dealt with yet, something that you need to process. And then we have responsibility again. And so this is, I think, related to that element of balance as well, where it's time for you to start being more responsible with your resources, more responsible when it comes to your actions, the energy that you put out into the world as well. There seems to be a very strong theme here of focusing on finding your purpose or setting a goal for yourself, and then working hard to achieve that, which requires behaving in a manner that is conservative, especially with resources, but also it's about you being your best self, not just for yourself, but for the people that are around you. Okay? Because we have the Sanctuary card on the table, I think that you're going to be put in a position sometime in the future where you may have to provide a space of sanctuary or safety for other people, that there is some service to others in your near future, which is why it seems like the universe is putting you through this situation where you have to learn moderation, self-control, self-discipline, and again, responsibility. Because when you are out there living your life, you affect everyone you come into contact with on levels that you may not even realize. Your actions do not only affect you, they affect other people, which I think is why the Overseer card is out, because it's trying to remind you to be mindful of your actions, and again, the energy that you're putting out in the world. Are you putting out positive energy, or are you putting out negative energy? This has a lot to do with karma too. Whatever you put out, you are going to get back. And so if you feel that you are receiving negativity at this time, it is because of the energy that you have produced and inflicted upon the world around you. And if you start living as your best self, as your highest self, when you start making more ethical, more mindful decisions, I think you're going to find that your life turns around quite quickly. We also have over here, this card is Expel. Expel. And this is, again, about expelling negative energy, expelling bad habits. This is removing anything from your life that harms you, that holds you back, or that just simply no longer serves you. So I'm going to pull some more cards just to get a little bit of extra analysis or a little bit of extra insight in just a moment. But first I want to now read these cards in columns. So the Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Wild Monkey, and the Cat. So the Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Cat, this is funny to me because cats are not known to play well with others all the time, at least in my experience. So there may be this element of you wanting to travel your path alone for a little while. Perhaps you are finding difficulty working with other people. You may just have a difficulty relating to others because of where you are on your path, because you're still in this stage where you are finding yourself, okay, coming to recognize your own identity, which you feel like you have lost or that you have not found yet. And because we have this follow your own rhythm thing here, perhaps you got into this cycle for a while where you were just following other people, doing what other people did or what other people wanted you to do. And this put you in a position where you kind of forgot who you were. You lost that connection to your deeper self. So I think the Wild Monkey comes in to encourage you to follow your own path. Seek out those things that you're curious about. Try things that you want to try. Live your life for yourself and just explore. That's what the Cat is saying as well. Explore yourself on your deepest levels, but also explore the world and your relationship to it on your own without the influence of other people. Then we have the 10, I keep calling it the 10. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Overseer, and the Horseshoe. So a lot of themes here about a higher power being active in your life at this time. What you may feel is bad luck, this is actually the universe trying to turn things around for you, trying to stop you in your tracks so that you do not continue down a path that is harmful to you and that is not aligned with your purpose, your own identity. And the Overseer card, this isn't just a threat that you're being watched. This is also reassurance that Spirit is with you. Spirit sees where you're at. Spirit knows what you need, and it's trying to give it to you. But you have to be willing to accept the advice and the protection that Spirit has to offer so that Spirit can work for you and work with you to create a better life, to create something that you can be proud of, something that you can enjoy. And then we come here to the 10 of Pentacles, the Vivacious Jaguar, and the Door. This is all about an opportunity that's going to come in for you guys. Okay? That you need to be organized and tapped into that inner passion, that fire, that motivation, so that you can achieve this abundance here with that 10 of Pentacles. That is the ultimate of earthly success. And you can have that. But I think that aside from the bad habits and the negativity that needs to be released from your life, it's really going to require a lot of hard work and dedication on your part. That you are being offered a gift of sorts, but it's not that you don't deserve it, but it's almost like you're getting a chance. You're getting a chance to turn your life around. You're getting a chance to start making better decisions for yourself. You're getting a chance to show the world what you're made of, what you're capable of creating, what you're capable of accomplishing. And you are capable of great things. You are capable of that 10 of Pentacles. But you need to organize yourself mentally, potentially even organize your personal environment. You need to find a way to focus on whatever it is that motivates you, what is most important to you. And you have to be willing to put this opportunity, this goal here, above whatever that Devil card represents for you, above any distractions or bad habits or negative thinking patterns that continue to block you and hold you back. Prioritizing is going to be very important for you guys, but that's the lesson in this whole situation, is teaching you how to prioritize your highest goals in order to do your highest good for yourself and the world. Coming over here, we have the Devil, the Sanctuary, and the Scale. The Devil cannot come into the Sanctuary, obviously. The Sanctuary could represent somewhere that you go to get away from the Devil. Perhaps it's time to change your environment. Perhaps there's something in your environment that continues to encourage this self-destructive, negative behavior, or these bad habits that you have. In extreme circumstances, this could be a treatment center, or just getting away, going somewhere, staying with family. If there's something in your immediate environment that you have a hard time getting away from, that is becoming disruptive to your life, there is a need to remove something from your life, this bad habit, whatever it is. And if you cannot cut it out within your environment, then you may need to find a safe, nurturing place to go so that you do not have to be exposed to this devil energy until you find your inner purpose, until you are realigned with your identity and you have a stronger will to live without that negativity. And the Scale, again, all about balance. Balance is what you'll find in the Sanctuary. Balance emotionally and mentally. Balancing your money, balancing your relationships, and balancing your brain chemistry as well. That could be very important for some of you guys who may have mental health struggles. If you feel that you need to see a professional about that, I encourage it. I recommend it. It can be very helpful, especially if you feel that there may be an imbalance in your brain chemistry. Let's be extreme for a minute and assume that the Devil is about drugs or alcohol. A lot of people turn to substances to try to self-medicate and rebalance their own brain chemistry so that they can enjoy life, so that they can be focused, so that they can tap back into that passion. But unfortunately, it does not work for long. And then it becomes a habit. It becomes something that disrupts you and doesn't help you. So perhaps there is... there are some of you out there who may benefit from seeing a professional when it comes to your mental health, to try to get things balanced in a responsible and a safe way, to get you back on your path, to allow you to regain your focus, to allow you to realign with who you are truly and what is most important to you. Okay, so we'll pull a few more cards from the Roots and Wings Oracle, and then we'll pull a couple cards from another deck after that, and then we'll be done. We'll call it good. So first I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 4 cards, one for each column, just to get a little extra insight. So for column 1 is what we'll call it, we have the Father. The Father is like Emperor energy, structure, discipline, protection, providing. The Father provides, the Father guides and teaches. So this could refer to someone in your life who could provide everything that I just said, basically, that a father would provide. This could have something to do with your father, or perhaps this is just calling for you to bring more structure into your life, bring more discipline into your life, which has already been a theme in this reading, so I think that that's probably most likely. Next, we'll go ahead and clarify column 2, that Wheel of Fortune, the Overseer, and the Horseshoe. We have the Divine. So that is everything that column is about the divine. It is about spirit and its connection to you in your life and what it is trying to do for you. Okay, so again, if you feel like there are things going on in your life that you cannot control, you're probably right to a certain extent. That events are occurring in your life, either because that is the universe balancing out your karma, or because spirit is stepping in to help guide you or push you in a separate direction, especially if you still do not have the motivation or willpower to change direction on your own. So it may seem negative, it may be painful, the changes that are being forced to occur at this time, but it is for your greater good, and it is out of that unconditional, true love that the divine has for all of us. It is ultimately to protect you, to get you away from those negative or evil energies that are taking over your life, taking over your mind. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Ten of Pentacles with the Vivacious Jaguar and the Door. This opportunity that's coming in for you guys, and the abundance that awaits you once you're able to take full advantage of that. We have gratitude. Don't forget to be grateful for the opportunities that the universe makes available to you. If you work hard, then you deserve it, but it is still always a gift. And I think perhaps expressing gratitude for what you do have can help take your mind off of what you don't have. It can also help strengthen your own passion, your own motivation to achieve better, because you are receiving this gift from the universe. You are so grateful that you want to do your best. You want to put in your best effort to accomplish the opportunities or the possibilities that have been given to you at this time or in the near future. So the next card is going to be clarifying the Devil with the Sanctuary and the Scale. And we have wildness. Wildness. I think that this is about, again, connecting back to your truest self. I'm going to clarify the wildness card because it's a very interesting card to come out for all of those. Perseverance. So, cutting this devil out of your life is going to be a difficult task. Perhaps you might be somebody who benefits or finds it easier to connect to animal totems, for example, trying to connect to that wild animal side of that we all have within ourselves that can help you feel closer to spirit. That may sound confusing the way that I said that, and I apologize. But there's something about overthinking, perhaps. Overthinking and becoming overwhelmed that we don't necessarily see as much in wild animals because they just seem to be far more attuned to their own instincts. They have an understanding of the world and the universe and their place within it, but mostly they seem to just act based on how they are wired. So perhaps you are being asked to get back down to your most basic self in order to help cut this devil energy out of your life. Connecting back to your wild side to draw strength from it, because it's another thing that we have with these wild animals is that they tend to be very strong. They can survive a lot. Conditions that we may never even imagine being able to survive. Wild animals do it every day. And we can do it too. You can do it. Draw inspiration from that. Draw inspiration from your wild, instinctual side. Tap into those survival instincts. Realize that this devil energy is threatening your survival. It's threatening your happiness, and it's threatening your opportunities towards success. And know that you are strong and that you will persevere. And it just starts with baby steps. And the first baby step is doing anything you can to bring that balance back into your life. So now I'm going to pull a few cards from the, I believe it's called Wonders and Witches deck. I called it the wrong thing earlier, but just see if there's any additional messages that could be helpful to you guys at this time. Group 3. And while I shuffle these, I'll just recap that this reading is mostly about getting back in touch with your true self and cutting out negative influences. Something that's been taking control of your behavior, your actions for quite a while, and it's starting to have a negative effect on your life. It's starting to make you feel stuck, like you cannot move forward, and it's time to start cleaning things up. So we have the dowsing rod. No. The card just says no. So if you had a question in your mind just then, and that's the card that came out, maybe the answer is no. I don't know if that's true, though. Let's see what else we've got to clarify that no. Perhaps the message is say no. Say no to that devil energy. Say no to anyone who comes in who tries to control your life or influence you in a direction that is not in your best interest. That is not aligned with your highest good. Okay, we have Dracula, manipulation. This actually came out for another group as well. So there could be another individual in your life or in your situation that is trying to keep you back, keep you in that devil energy. Potentially someone who also suffers from that devil energy as well. And we all know misery loves company, right? So if you have anyone in your life that seems to not be interested in you being your best self, who seems to be threatened or put off by your decision to live a better life, keep that in mind. That is a sign that they're not invested in your success. They're not supportive of your healing, and so they may not be someone to be around at this time, especially if you are having trouble getting away from that devil energy of your own. This could also have a lot to do with that sanctuary, okay? Getting away from the devil energy, getting away from a bad situation or a negative environment, but also getting away from other people in your life who are actively trying to keep you down or trying to keep you in the dark. So let's see what else we've got. Okay, we have full moon, manifest. So that's indicative of some really strong manifestation energy that is available to you at this time. That there is a lot that you can manifest. And that could be why there are negative forces that seem to be invested in holding you back and keeping you from accessing that manifestation. Oh my God, words. That manifestation energy. Because you are so powerful. Because you do have a lot of potential to create something very good and positive in this world. That there could be forces at play that you can't see with the eye that don't want you to find your light, do not want you to recognize your own identity. Okay, we also have spirits, messages, okay? The hawk was messages as well. So you definitely have some messages coming in from spirit at this time. Again, probably in the form of signs or synchronicities, or actually because of the Dreamweaver here, I mean, pretty literally, you could be receiving messages or signs in your dreams at this time. So if you're having a lot of vivid dreams, write them down when you wake up. Keep a dream journal. Pay attention to the themes, the patterns, the symbology occurring in your dreams, because they could have some very important information to impart to you that will help you on your path or help you understand some aspect of yourself or your situation. Okay, we have the sugar skull. Honor your past. To me, this is all about recognizing that everything that you've done, everything that you've experienced up until this point was part of your journey. So we're talking a lot about this devil energy and having to cut it out. Bad habits or bad decisions that were made in the past. While they were not positive, while they did not help you, they did contribute to your growth. It was a part of your path. It did need to happen to teach you some very important lessons. And so while we make an effort to get away from all of those things, we still appreciate what those experiences have provided us in terms of knowledge and experience and understanding. Okay? Appreciate your past for what it has taught you about yourself. What it's taught you about the world. And how much it's allowed you to change for the better. Okay, I'll pull one more. Okay, we have the white voodoo doll. Peace. So this is all about bringing peace back into your life. I can see how peace could be something that is hard to come by for you at this time, especially with that devil energy. Especially if you have an actual individual in your life who is actively trying to keep you in the dark, actively trying to keep you in an unhealthy mind space. Removing these manipulative energies from your life. Cutting out the devil energy. Finding a sanctuary, somewhere safe that you can go to get away from negative influences. To care for yourself and to reconnect with your deepest, truest self, your best self. To recognize the decisions you've made in the past, how they affected your life, how they affected others, and reflecting on what you need to change moving forward. That's what's going to help you right now. That is your best plan of action. Taking responsibility for the past, honoring the past for what it has taught you, but still making the appropriate changes to get back on the right path, in order to pursue that calling, in order to take advantage of some very big opportunities coming your way. Okay, so that's what I've got for you guys. Group 3, thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this, if it resonated, please feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified when I upload new videos in the future. You'll have to click on the little notification bell so that it actually tells you when I upload. If you have any suggestions for readings that you would like to see me do on my channel, themed readings, other types of pick-a-cards, etc., leave it in a comment. I would love to see your suggestions and implement them in future videos. So thank you again, take care, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, group 4. You guys chose the zebra calcite, also known as phantom zebra calcite, I believe. It's kind of hard to see there. Anyway, according to, let's see, I think it's feelcrystals.com, zebra calcite is a supportive crystal that is helpful in overcoming fear, doubt, and uncertainty. It also increases feelings of self-worth, confidence, and courage, and fosters a sense of belonging. It settles chaotic energies. It brings in balance and stabilization, and it's also very helpful in a transformative process. So if you're going through major changes or major transformations, then zebra calcite could be very helpful in calming the mind and helping keep you from being overwhelmed by all of the changes taking place. So because you chose that crystal, perhaps those elements might be specifically helpful to your situation, or might bring some insight into things that you may be feeling at this time. So with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and lay out the cards. All right, group 4, let's see what you've got. Starting with the archetype card, we have the sustainer. Okay, so let's consider this the main theme, the sustainer. This is you trying to sustain something, whether it be something you created or a home, family life. This could be representative of you providing for your family, for example. This could represent you putting an effort to sustain a relationship or some kind of venture, some kind of goal that you have spent a lot of time or effort forming and putting into place. This is about you sustaining it, maintaining it, okay? Feeding it, nurturing it, keeping it going. So that could be, again, a relationship, home life, a family, or a manifestation, creation, business, etc. Okay, over here we have, there we go, temptation. Okay, very similar. Well, it is technically this deck's version of the Devil card. So this can be a bad habit, something that you do, some kind of behavior or habit or thought process that holds you back, that binds you, that keeps you from being successful, that only exists in your life to create problems, to cause you pain. Over here we have the feathers, which is restoration. Something to be healed, something to be fixed, something to be restored in your life, whether it's something within you on a personal level or some situation, dynamic, relationship, etc. Down here we have dream a beautiful dream. So this is a vision or a dream of some kind for the future, for your future. This is encouraging you to dream big. Okay? To set those large goals for yourself, to work towards some kind of grand accomplishment. This is a message from Spirit not to limit your dreams or your aspirations. Now, over here we have the three-toed sloth, which is recuperation. It's hard to see there. We can get it to focus. So we have recuperation, and then we have vulnerability, the walrus, and the pig, which is indulgence. So this indulgence card, I think, may very well be related to the temptation card. There may be something that you indulge in that is not safe for you, that does not encourage healthy behavior. It could be something that is unhealthy and damaging towards your lifestyle or certain relationships. So do keep that in mind. Over here we have the morning song, the ram, core, cosmos, and tempest. So I'll explain those real quick. The morning song, this is waking up and hearing the birds sing, right? This is a brand new day full of opportunity. It's a positive start, something new, a positive turn in your life. Okay, so perhaps things are taking a turn for the better if you've been dealing with some hardships lately. If, because we have the sustainer, perhaps it's been difficult lately to sustain something, whatever it may be in your situation, and things are about to start looking up. Things are about to start getting better. The ram is all about coming into your own personal power, taking control of your life, establishing order and structure, setting a goal for yourself, and having the focus and the determination, the willpower to achieve it, making it a priority. Underneath here we have core, which is hard to see. Let's see. This is very important. Okay? This means that there is some kind of change, some kind of reinforcement, some kind of strength that you are coming into on a deeper level, deep within yourself. I kind of see this as being a growth within your own self-confidence. You becoming more confident in your ability to achieve and manifest something really great for yourself and for your family. And I'll get to why I keep saying family in just a moment. The cosmos, okay? This has a lot to do with the universe and the role it plays in your life. I think that, whatever you want to call it, the universe, a higher power, spirit, etc., there is some kind of positive force at work in your life right now to help you accomplish your goals, to help you make your life better, to help you make your family dynamic better, to bring in healing, okay? Because there are also themes of healing with the cards we have on the table. We have the Tempest here. Okay, if you look, it's like lightning and a storm. This is chaos. This is some kind of chaos or disruption entering your life in order to instigate change. Positive change, okay? This is happening to push you in the right direction. Perhaps this is happening to help remove that temptation or devil energy from your life. Perhaps it is occurring to shine light on a tendency towards indulgence, so that you can start prioritizing better, making more responsible decisions, making healthier decisions for yourself, so that you can have a brighter future, okay? And then over here, we have the Time Traveler, and I will come back to it later, but this indicates to me that this has something to do with the past, perhaps. It could also be referencing your future, your ability to see forward to your own future and make the decisions that will lead you to your best future. But we'll come back to that. So I have in this row tarot cards, and then lucidity cards, and then the Memento Mori cards. I'll first read them in rows and then in columns, and then we'll clarify. So we're starting over here with the 9 of Wands in reverse, indicating that there is some level of exhaustion, paranoia, that you've been running into a lot of issues, a lot of obstacles, and now you're kind of in survival mode, and possibly you've become somewhat cynical or pessimistic, expecting the worst, and therefore potentially manifesting it in your life. There's also the possibility that there is something that needs to be let go that is draining you, that is wearing you down, and you may not even be aware of it. I think that could be that temptation or devil energy in your life that is wearing you down. We have, next to that, Temperance, upright. So this is good. Bringing in that balance into your life. Balance in your material life, but also spiritual, mental, emotional. I think that there is a focus here on the material because these two cards here are Pentacles cards. We have the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So the 8 of Pentacles is all about mastering your craft. It's all about something that you put a lot of hard work, effort, and energy into, something that you are creating, something that you're manifesting. It's a skill, it's a gift, it's a passion, okay? And it's something that has, something that translates into material gain, material wealth, abundance. So perhaps this balance needs to come in to help make a more positive work life for you. Perhaps there's something in your life that is taking away from your mastery of that craft. Something that is taking away your attention, distracting you. Something that is draining your energy, and so you don't have the energy to pour into that craft. Okay, and then the Agent of Zent, which these, in this deck, Zent is Pentacles and Agents are Knights. I forgot to explain that. So the Knight of Pentacles. This is all about implementing structure and responsible decision making in order to accomplish a goal. Okay, this is hard work. This is the slower, more difficult path, but it is a path towards sure success. This is prioritizing your work and your earthly goals above other factors of your life. And that can be a negative thing, but I see it as being a positive at this moment, that bringing in that balance that the Temperance card is referring to into the mastery of that craft is the first step in achieving abundance, wealth, and success. And the Knight of Pentacles is just coming in to say that while it will not be easy, it will be worth it. The Dream a Beautiful Dream card. Something that you want, something that you feel very passionate about, something that you dream of having or creating in the future will require a lot of work and a lot of energy, which requires removing that temptation or that devil energy from your life, because it's got you in this 9 of Wands position where you're too tired to put that energy into this endeavor, whatever it is that you want to manifest, whatever it is that you want to create. It's taking a lot out of you, and so you have nothing to give to the material part of your life. You have nothing to give to your work. So it's time to remove something from your life in order to restore, regain energy, right? Restoration. Then over here we got the 3-toed sloth, recuperation. Now it is very important to cut out any negative influences and start focusing on healing and conserving and reserving your energy, and so that you have energy to put towards more positive endeavors in your life. And that temptation, again, potentially refers to this indulgence card. Now, this could be an addiction. It could be, which this is very reminiscent of pile 3. So if this resonates, you might go back and watch pile 3 as well. But some kind of bad, well, I don't know. I mean, you can call it a bad behavior, some kind of bad habit, some kind of pattern that you've fallen into that, whether you realize it or not, is draining you. It's sucking you dry. It is taking all of your attention. It is taking all of your energy and is leaving you with nothing to give the other facets of your life. And it could be something that you use to cope with this vulnerability or a fear of vulnerability. So, okay. Coming back over here, Lucidity cards. We have the Dream Ranger, Personal Growth and Global Healing, Playful Coyote, and the Family. And that Family card is why I kept saying family earlier. Okay, so the Dream Ranger. In this deck has a lot to do with lucid dreaming, astral activities, if you will. It's a very mystical deck. So the Dream Ranger is going to be somebody that you would potentially encounter in a lucid dream who are also in their own lucid dream. And to me, this symbolizes like minds coming together on a higher realm of consciousness. Okay, this is a very spiritual connection that you may have to somebody else. You may meet someone, or someone may come into your life who is on a higher path just like you, who may be able to teach you something or further you along on your path, and you could provide the same to them as well. So this could be an ally for sure when it comes to this journey of removing this temptation and moving towards your higher purpose, your divine purpose. Down here, or actually, I'm gonna slow down for a second. Sorry. Personal growth and global healing. So again, healing. This is all about healing from your own pains, your own difficulties, your own bad habits. But I think too that part of your healing is part of a greater healing that's happening all over the planet. So this could indicate that you might find a lot of benefit in sharing your journey, your healing process with other people who, again, may be on the same path. You may find yourself surrounded by a lot of like-minded individuals in the very near future once you start making these positive changes for your life, whether it be a support group or just people you meet on the street that you connect with where you have a lot in common. But your personal growth is connected to this global healing directly. And we'll come back to that. But moving on, we have the Playful Coyote. The Playful Coyote can be harmless, but it's kind of like that trickster spirit, okay? So it's somebody who's messing with you. Or perhaps you're being called to be more playful yourself and take yourself a little less seriously. To not put so much weight on your own ego, okay? This could also indicate that there is a force in your life at this time that is messing with you, that may be throwing obstacles in your path. And the goal, hopefully, is for you to grow, is for you to learn that you can overcome any obstacle that comes to in your way, that you can grow through the process instead of being thrown back off of your path, instead of turning back to that temptation to cope and to distract from the difficulties that life has for you. Okay, so if you are finding that a lot of things are occurring, or that you're running into these ridiculous issues that seem to exist only to discourage you, try looking at it as something that is testing you, testing your strength, testing your ability. And consider the fact that perhaps the forces that be would not put this in your path if you could not overcome it. And that the universe isn't testing you so that the universe can see what you have to offer. The universe is testing you so that you can prove to yourself your strength and your capability, that connection to your willpower, that you can take full control of that, and that you can charge towards your goals while leaping over any obstacle that gets in your way. And then that's followed up by the family. Okay, so this may have something to do with your family, immediate nuclear family, or your extended family. This could also have to do with, these individuals that are coming into your life that are like kindred spirits. This may be a new family that is coming together for you that you are becoming a part of, where you guys come together and share with each other your experiences and grow and heal together as well. So if you're listening to this and a lot of it resonates with you, but you don't feel like perhaps you don't have a large blood family, or you're not connected to that family, this doesn't have to be blood. This can be soul family, spiritual family, okay? Really close, deep connections with friends that you would consider family. I find, in my experience at least, that friendships in my life have been much stronger connections than blood family. Blood does not make family. So keep that in mind as well, that there could be a theme here of healing your concept of family and what it means. If there has been trouble in your past with family, turmoil, painful experiences having to do with other family members that perhaps you no longer have in your life, or who hurt you or bring negativity into your life, this card would be encouraging you to find comfort and connection with other people and to be open to building your own family, your chosen family. Okay, so we'll come down here now. We have the cross, smoke, the lock, and the plague doctor. The cross it can be a responsibility, it can be a burden. It is the cross you bear. It is something that you carry with you constantly. It could be referring to whatever the temptation card is referring to, and in that case, this is a cross that you need to lay down so that you can continue forward, carrying a lot less weight without any extra baggage. Something that you can release so that you can take the energy that you were putting into carrying that cross and again, pour it back into your work. This 8 of Pentacles up here. Next, we have the smoke. Smoke indicates a lack of clarity in some part of your life. It's really hard to see through the smoke. It is distracting. It is, what was the word I was looking for? Like, it obfuscates. I should use words I know how to say. It blocks your view from what's really important. It makes the path unclear so that you don't know where to step next, so that you have trouble figuring out how to stay on your path. That's where intuition comes in, by the way. If it's not clear to you, then you trust your heart and your soul. You connect to your deeper purpose, you connect to your deeper self, and you listen to what your heart has to say and follow that guidance until you can make it through the smoke or until that smoke clears. I also have the saying come to mind, where there's smoke, there's fire. So for some of you guys, if there is metaphysical, or excuse me, metaphysical, I don't know, metaphorical smoke in any part of your life, then perhaps that is something that you need to focus on when you're working on this personal healing. Okay, so if there is any part of your life that you have a lot of confusion about, or you lack clarity, perhaps that's something to meditate on, something to explore. That perhaps there is something in that is contributing to the issues you're having now, and that resolving that and regaining clarity on that facet of your life could play a big role in, again, removing that temptation energy, removing the devil energy. The smoke could also be placed by somebody else. This could be manipulation or gaslighting or lies, misinformation that was designed specifically to keep you from being on your correct path. So if there are individuals in your life who do not have your best interests at heart, or that seem to exist only to distract, only to hurt you, only to bring drama into your life, the smoke could be referring to that as well. In that case, that's an individual that you would need to cut out and remove so that you could see the path ahead clearly and move forward. We'll come back to that though. So now we have the lock. The lock can protect you or something that you care about. The lock can keep things safe and locked in, but it can also keep you locked in. It could keep you locked out. Okay? The lock is a barrier of some kind, a boundary, if you will. It can be positive or it can be negative. And honestly, I'm not sure yet what I think it might be in this reading. I'll have to come back to that. But the lock could be that bad habit or behavior that we were talking about earlier that holds you back, that keeps you from achieving your highest goals. It could also be in reference to whatever that Nine of Wands is about, okay? The lock could be that thing in your life that is draining you, that is distracting you, that is soaking up all of your energy so that you have nothing to give towards priorities and your higher goals. It could also indicate perhaps that you have closed yourself off on an emotional level in order to protect yourself. You know what? It could also be related to this cross. There are a lot of meanings that come with this lock card. This could be the lock and the chain that bind you to this cross, something that you need to be able to remove in order to lay down excessive baggage that you don't need to carry anymore. Because remember, we have the time traveler over here, so there is this element of something perhaps from the past that could haunt you, or that just continues to weigh you down, something that needs to be processed and released. And then last we have the Plague Doctor. The Plague Doctor is a doctor, so this has a lot to do with healing. Perhaps you could benefit from seeing a doctor at this time if you do have any physical ailments or issues. That could be what the Plague Doctor is referring to. And if that is the case, if you do have any physical issues, that could also be what this lock is about, that you feel trapped in your body, or that you feel trapped in a sickness. And if you haven't seen a professional or consulted a real doctor who could help you or give you insight into those issues, and this could be, physical health, this could be mental health, okay? If you feel like you could benefit from seeing a professional, if you've been wondering about seeing a professional recently, about some issue that you have that you need help finding clarity on, then I definitely suggest you reaching out to a professional, a psychologist, or a regular medical doctor. I'm not a doctor and I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just saying, if you feel like you need it, reach out for it. Don't be afraid to consult somebody else who might have a lot of knowledge and information to offer you, who may have solutions to offer you, to help you perhaps get away from that devil energy, whatever it is, to help you work through any issues, psychological or physical, that act as that lock and chain and hold you down, that bind you and keep you from being able to spread your wings and grow, okay? So now I'm going to read the cards in columns, top to bottom. So again, Nine of Wires, Dream Ranger, and the Cross. So the Nine of Wires, I can see that directly relating to the Cross as being that burden that keeps you in that survival mode state of mind, that burden that keeps you drained and exhausted and paranoid. Then you have this Dream Ranger, which is another individual that comes into your life, perhaps on a spiritual level, maybe literally in your dreams, or somebody that you meet who is on a similar path that you are, who can bring you insight into that cross that you bear, okay? Who could potentially point out something that you're not seeing because you're so close to the issue. It's right up in your face. You're not seeing it from a larger perspective. You have a hard time seeing your issues from an objective perspective when you're in it. When it's so close that it's blurry and it's hard to make out fine lines. Okay? So there could be somebody coming into your life who will be able to point out to you exactly what it is that you're carrying and how you might let it go. Then we have Temperance, Personal Growth, and Global Healing, and the Smoke. So balance in terms of personal healing and gaining clarity. All right, so perhaps the clarity that you need to gain is on the part of your life that lacks balance. Look for where you feel off kilter. Look for, again, the area where you feel like you don't understand what's going on. Whatever part of your life that you have trouble making sense of, or that feels chaotic, scattered, and nonsensical, okay, that's where you need to apply the principle of temperance. That is where you need to bring balance back in, which may require, again, seeing a professional, because we are talking about healing here. But yeah, look to where there's smoke. Usually that means fire, and I think for you guys the fire is a severe lack of balance. And I'm guessing that if this reading resonates with you, that you probably already know what I'm talking about. I think it is, again, related to that temptation card. Something, some factor, some energy or force in your life that keeps drawing you away from making progress, that keeps drawing you away from your highest path. And it's time to, figure out, what is it trying to distract you from? Oftentimes, when there are these negative forces acting in our lives, they are trying to distract us from our greater purpose because we are powerful, because we are strong, and because there's a lot of good that we could do for this world. And so that darker energy comes in to pull us off our path so that we cannot be our best selves, so that we cannot provide that greater good to ourselves, but also our communities, our families, the people around us, the world as a whole. When you have a lot of good to offer, you run into a lot of obstacles. When your light is bright, the darkness inevitably comes to snuff it out, to dim your light. It is like a force of nature. It's a physical law. The brighter the light, the more negative forces that come in. I see this all the time, personally, and in other people that I meet. Explain something very similar. There are a lot of people who share that sentiment, that the more you raise your vibration, the more you work towards raising your consciousness, okay, the more it seems like there are these intelligent forces coming at you to keep you from achieving that growth. So if that resonates with you, if you feel like that could be something that's going on, then the way that achieving balance can help you in that situation is that it helps you to sturdy yourself, again, at your core, right? That way that anything that comes into your life that attempts to destabilize you will not be able to, because you will have achieved that internal balance. Mental, emotional balance. Security within yourself. Confidence in your own abilities. If you can achieve that, then you can build everything else on top of it. If you can get to a point where you trust yourself to do what's best for you, when you get to the point where you can finally recognize how powerful, intelligent, how strong you are, then no matter what comes at you, you're going to know that you can overcome it. You are going to not be distracted or pulled off of course by those forces. That came out a little weird. I hope it made sense. Okay, let's move on. 8 of Pentacles, the Playful Coyote, and the Lock. So, mastering your craft. And then there's this trickster spirit. And then you got this lock, something that either locks you in, locks you out, or something that could potentially protect your work. Yeah, I'm a little stuck on that one, actually. I'm not going to lie. For now, let's imagine that this is like that trickster spirit locking you out of your office. Okay? Trying to keep you from getting back to work. Trying to keep you from achieving those goals. But see, the Playful Coyote isn't necessarily malicious or malevolent. So it could be that this Playful Coyote energy could potentially coming in to protect something for you. Perhaps certain obstacles are arising in your life, especially in your work life, because there are darker forces at work trying to destroy the progress that you've made thus far, trying to stop you from continuing to grow, from continuing your mastery. And so perhaps the reason why you haven't made any more progress, or the reason why you find a hard time getting back to it, is because there's something else in your life that needs to be removed before you start working towards that again. Something that could potentially influence your work in a negative way. And this Playful Coyote spirit could be coming in to protect you in a very strange, tricky way. So if that didn't make sense, I totally understand. I am going to clarify with other cards in just a little bit, so we'll come back to it. Okay, so then over here we've got the Knight of Pentacles, the Family, and the Plague Doctor. So these themes of hard work and responsibility, okay? Paying attention to the fine details, doing the hard work, prioritizing appropriately, prioritizing your ability to provide and sustain the family. And perhaps you even prioritize this over your own health, okay? Over taking care of your own body. Do recognize that if this is true for you, that you're more worried about making it to work than you are about taking care of your body, that you need to be healthy in order to continue to work hard. And so that is another area where perhaps you need to bring in some of that balance. taking care of yourself while still taking care of everyone else. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, if you are not making sure that you are healthy, well rested, mentally and emotionally secure and balanced, then you're going to have a really hard time providing any of that for others. You're going to find that you are slacking on the material realm, slacking at work, or you're going to find that tasks that should be easy are more difficult. And it's not because you're bad at it. It's not because you're incapable. It's simply because you may not be taking good enough care of yourself. So I do feel like that is the case for some of you guys, because I don't know, I'm saying it and I feel it really strongly. So I think some of you guys are just not taking good enough care of yourself. You're working really hard. Your intentions are noble, but you're going to burn yourself out, and it's going to do more harm than good. So if you can, you need to take a break. You need to go to the doctor and get checked out. You need to take a nap. You need to go to bed on time so that you can get up early. You need to eat full meals, healthy meals. Okay, if you can help it, get away from fast food. Get away from snacks. Well, I mean, snack throughout the day, but healthier snacks. Be mindful of what you're putting into your body, because that is going to attribute directly to your energy levels and just how you feel. And if you feel better, you'll be able to work harder. You'll be happier. You'll feel more successful, right? Because you'll just generally feel better. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the Roots and Wings deck. I'm going to draw 4 cards, 1 for each column there, to get a little bit of extra insight. So to clarify, the 9 of Wires with the Dream Ranger and the Cross, we have home. Home. I guess we'll clarify that one more time. What about home? We have abundance. Home and abundance. So I can definitely see this reading being about, this hyper focus on creating abundance, providing and keeping the home. That is this cross. It is this responsibility. So you could be someone who's trying to do it alone. And perhaps this Dream Ranger is indicating that there could be somebody coming into your life that can help you provide that abundance, that safe and nurturing home environment. Someone who can help you in that role as the sustainer, so that you're not burnt out, so that you're not wearing yourself so thin. Let's see what else we've got. Okay. So to clarify, temperance, personal growth, and global healing, and the smoke, we have held. To me, this is actually a lot about allowing other people to come in and help you. Accepting support from other people in your life. So let's say this Dream Ranger is somebody that can help provide for you, who can help you provide for your family. Somebody coming in to help make things a little bit easier. Someone coming in who's willing to take some of the burden off of your shoulders so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Okay? This is also about allowing someone to come in and comfort you. If there is a lot of pain, you may be a very independent person who does not want to accept help, who does not want to need to be held, but we all do. Okay? Excuse me. So, if you feel that you need help with anything, be willing to ask for it. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Do not be ashamed to want comfort and reassurance from another human being. It is normal. It's healthy. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. All right, let's clarify the 8 of Pentacles with the Playful Coyote and the Lock. This is the one that I was having trouble with. 8 of Pentacles, Playful Coyote, and Lock. I think I might clarify both the Playful Coyote and the Lock, actually. Okay, so first we have the Void. Right, this empty space. This can refer to emptiness in a way that is negative, but it almost feels like in this case, this is about trying to get you to stop and be still and reflect. So perhaps there's something some kind of wrench thrown into the gears that stops things for you so that you can stop and just think, meditate, relax, look inward. That's kind of what I'm getting from that void card, that you need to be in this void for a little while, so that you can actually look inward and see things that you may have missed because you were always focused on the material, because you haven't taken the time to look within. You haven't taken the time to even take care of yourself, right? So then this playful coyote comes in to throw you off, to stop you in your tracks, to put you in a position where you have to look inward so that you can pay attention to things within yourself that may need mending or nurturing. I'm going to pull another card for that. All right, mystery. Obviously, it's making me clarify that again. Mystery. There's something that there's something going on that you're not seeing, or that you're choosing not to see, something going on that you're not acknowledging. And then we have balance. Okay, so we're coming back to that theme of balance. The theme of balance is strong in this reading. Balance between your health, your self-care, and your work. And then there is something growing, something that is existing and operating within you that you are completely oblivious to. And that's why you're being stopped now. That's why you have to look inward. That is why you have to focus on healing right now, because there's something else. I don't even know what it is. It's a mystery. Okay? I'm getting that from the mystery card and the void card. That there is something else entirely. I'm going to pull one more card to clarify that group, because that's just very interesting. Okay, we have Dreamer. So another card bringing in that theme of dreams. Perhaps you're receiving messages from spirit in your dreams at this time. If you are having vivid dreams, strange dreams, pay attention to them. Write them down. Again, this is something I said in group 3 as well, that you want to really pay attention to what images, what messages are coming through in your dreams. They could be trying to bring your attention to something that you have not noticed yet. Something very important. Perhaps there's an opportunity that you're not recognizing. And Spirit is trying to communicate with you through your dreams to point you in the right path, to draw your attention in a different direction. Very interesting. Well, okay, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to clarify the Knight of Pentacles, the Family, and the Plague Doctor. Okay, so we have the Earth Mother. The Earth Mother is nurturing. The Earth Mother is another version of a sustainer, okay? Provides nourishment on the physical level. Provides the necessary environment to grow the fruits and vegetables that we need to survive. Provides the environment that we live in, the ground we stand on, the air we breathe. The Earth Mother is the ultimate sustainer. And so this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about paying attention to what you're putting in your body and being healthier, treating your body better. Okay, we have the Divine. Okay, so this is a divine message. This is coming in straight from Spirit regarding your relationship with your physical body, and that you need to take better care of it before the rest of your life begins to suffer as much as you are suffering physically. I'll pull one more for that row, because why not? I felt drawn to. Alright, we have Direction. Okay, so the Divine is trying to guide you in the right direction. You need to pay attention to the signs. You need to listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, and try to follow those signs. Try to follow the guidance of Spirit, because Spirit is actively playing a role in bettering your life, bettering your health at this time. I feel like the message here is blatantly clear, that it is time to start taking better care of yourself. You need to recuperate. You need to rest. You need to cut out any bad habits or negative influences in your life that keep you in an unhealthy space. You need to get rest. You need to eat better. You need to take care of yourself and take care of your body so that you can continue to fulfill that role as the sustainer for your family. Because you can't take care of anyone else if you don't take care of yourself. That's just the truth. Alright, I'm going to pull a few more cards from a different deck and then we'll call it good for you guys, okay? Let's see what else we've got. So we have Dancing Under the Moon, freedom. Okay, I think this freedom is in reference to that temptation card, that devil energy, freeing yourself from any negative influences, from those bad habits. Freeing yourself from sickness. Okay, the next card that came out was yes. So I'm going to take that as confirmation that I'm on the right track. This is about taking care of your body, getting healthier physically as well as mentally and emotionally. What else do we have? So you have Skeletons Out of the Closet, honesty. This is about being honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself about where you're at, how you're feeling, how your lifestyle is affecting you. Being honest with yourself about the fact that something needs to change, that you cannot continue forward on the same path that you've been on up until this point, because it's draining you, it's wearing you down. I mean, it's probably even killing you, especially if you're not taking any care of your body. You cannot maintain that forever. We also have rest, the tombstone, okay? So again, you need rest. You need a full night's sleep. You need a break, a short vacation, a staycation, whatever. You need rest. Okay, we have the bats, good fortune. All right, good things are coming your way. Abundance is coming your way. Success is in your future. You have it all going on for you, for your family. And you're still going to have that good fortune if you stop and take a little break and take care of yourself. So just to recap, the message of this reading for you guys from Spirit is stop. Take care of your body. Go to the doctor. Eat a vegetable. Take a nap. For the love of God. Take care of your body. That's it. That's what I got. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching my video. If it resonated, if you enjoyed it, please feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified when I upload new videos in the future. Tap the little notification bell or else it won't tell you anything. If you have any ideas or suggestions for themed readings or pick a cards that you'd like to see me do in the future, please leave that in the comments as well. I would love to see your suggestions and implement them in future videos. I'm looking really forward to, whoa, that sentence didn't come out right. I'm really looking forward to seeing what y'all have to say. And yeah, that's all I got. You guys take care of yourselves. Take a nap. Eat. And I will see you guys in the next one.